We're ready.
Ready? Okay, everybody, we're going to open this meeting, call it to order. And first of all, is there any additions to the agenda?
There are no
None?
additions.
Okay. Would you like to read into the minutes of what our closed session is about?
Yes, thank you, Chairman, members of the board. There are two items on the agenda for closed session. The first is conference with your labor negotiators, and your representatives are Deputy CAO Joel Wagay, Interim Human Resources Director Michelle May, your Human Resources Manager Susan Carter, and your Director of Human Resources Roman Noriega. Thank you. Whew.
How come it's not in
Off to
here?
a bumpy start here. Employee organizations are all units, and unrepresented employee organizations are all classification, excluding elected officials. Under Government Code Section 54956.9, subsection D1, there's one existing litigation matter for your consideration. That's County of Madera versus Highway 41 Properties LLC, Madera County Superior Court, case number MCV 083624. Thank you, Chair.
Any public comment? See nobody running up here?
Supervisor Wheeler, Roman's not on there because his hire date was actually after the agenda was posted.
Oh, okay. That's good to have it in the minutes. We forgive you then. Okay, let's go into closed session. You want to do them first?
We are ready.
Huh?
We are ready.
We ready? Okay, back in session again. Is there any reportable action from the closed session, Counselor?
Chair, there's no reportable action from closed session.
Okay, we'll move on to open and closing this in memory of. Anybody, Brian McWhorter? Oh, you?
Yeah, I'd just like to recognize the passing of the father of Ryan McWhorter, George. He was a great guy, local coach.
Close to Yosemite?
Right. Yeah, all over the place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really well-known guy. And so we definitely want to remember the McWhorter family at this time. And also a gentleman by the name of Jesse Laura. He's the father of a friend of mine, Mike Laura, and he was always, when I was in high school, always attending our basketball games and taking us places. And anyway, just a really good guy, and he was 89 and had a good long life. So
Sure. Okay, any others? None? Leroy, did you know Jesse Laura too? Good.
yeah, Leroy, he went to school with Mike as well. Yep.
Oh, cool.
We all played basketball.
I was going to ask you if you really remembered Rob when you was his classmate, but I didn't want to put you on the spot out there. But the other thing that we just want to announce that Letty, Supervisor Gonzalez, said that we got another 100-year-old lady, Flora Zumwalt, and she was 100 years old yesterday. So I wish she was here so we could wish her happy birthday. I brought you guys wasn't on the board. I think Dave was. I brought Grace Tex down from North Fork when she turned 100 years old. She lived to be 104 years old. So.
And
Cool.
I'd like to wish a happy birthday to a future 100-year-old. Brooks Frazier turned 4 on Saturday. So
Hey, good deal.
we're a little 96 years ahead of time, but he's going to get there.
Yeah,
So.
that's for sure. Okay, we're going to invocations by
About to.
Reverend Leroy Gaffney, and he's from the Mount Zion Missionary Baptist Church. I'll get it out. And Freddie, you want to do the flag salute for us today? You can do it.
Okay.
You just lead it. All you got to do is just say, ready, set, salute. You can have it.
Father, we come this morning thanking you for the many blessings that you have bestowed upon us. We ask you, Father, now to look now upon each and every home that's represented here. Lord, we ask you to bless this board of supervisors. We ask you to use them, Father, building in the furtherance of your work. We ask you now, Father, to bless those that they are working for and against. Lord, we ask you now to look upon the bereavement, the bereaved families, the the birthday families. We ask you, Father, to just do what you do best. We ask you now, Lord, to look upon the business of Madera County Board of Supervisors. We ask you to give us one accord idea that we might move forward to make the best decisions for this beautiful county of Madera. Then, Father, we ask you to let your grace abound in the areas of the flood as a result of Eon, the waters and the damage and the lives lost in that incident. In the precious and mighty name of Jesus, amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Leroy and Fred. I just, so everybody knows, Freddie's and his family, Fred's one of them lost his house in the fork fire a couple of weeks ago, and he lost everything. Shop, house, the whole works. Dad lost his shop. More relatives is Lane Fink, who used to be the chairman of the Mono tribe like Freddie is now, lost her home too. So sad day up in North Forks. But thank you guys. Okay. Thanks so much, Leroy. Number 4.
Public comment. The first 15 minutes of each regular session is set aside for members of the public to address the board on any matter under the jurisdiction of the board, but not appearing on the agenda. The board will not take any action presented under public comment. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes. Anyone addressing the board is asked to print their name clearly on the speaker sheet at the podium and state their name and county of residence for the record.
Hey, Cheryl.
Good morning, Chairman, members of the board. Michelle May with Human Resources. I just wanted to take a quick moment to introduce one of our new staff members who also started on Monday, yesterday, with us in Human Resources. Juan Bustamante comes to us from Fresno County. He has a many years of experience there. I'll let him tell how many, just kidding. But anyway, I just wanted to introduce him and welcome him to Madera County, and he will be the Human Resources Manager overseeing our disability compliance program, our benefits, and our leaves program as well, so the fun stuff.
Welcome.
Beach. You're tongue-tied. I can see it already.
I am.
Welcome.
Yeah, no, happy to be here. Started great first day and continue to hope for great days after that. So thank you.
We'll see how the day goes, right?
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Welcome aboard. Thank you.
Any other speakers? Jared?
Good morning, Chairman, members of the board. Jared with Public Works. Just want to give a couple quick updates. Our SB1 projects are wrapping up. The last segment on Road 26 north of Avenue 21 was paved out yesterday. So hopefully we'll be wrapping up the final on that, and then that'll finish off our SB1 for this year, which included 12, 7, Club Drive, and then also 13 and a half, I think it was. And so I also wanted to I know we put this out on Facebook, but I just want to remind people that on the Road 200 project, they are starting blasting this weekend or this week. So there will be some fairly significant delays for traffic when that's happening to make sure that nobody gets hit with rocks or anything like that. So again, inconvenience for a short time, but overall the project will be much better when we're finished. And then lastly, I did want to let everybody know, particularly Supervisor Frazier, that we did get the speed feedback signs installed in the ranchos yesterday. We have some modifications we need to make to them to get them dialed in, I guess, if you will. So
Because it said I was going too fast this morning. Told me to slow down.
Yeah. So just so everybody's kind of aware, I wanted to talk about that for a quick second, because the way that those signs work is we set a maximum speed limit on them to flash that notice. So if you see slow down, you're going at least, I think it's 10 miles over what the posted speed limit is. So it's not going to tell you how fast you're going.
Yeah.
Double flashing for him.
Right. So just I know we've had other people ask, well, it just says slow down. And it's like, well, yeah, that's what you need to do is slow down because it's not going to show you your speed if you're more than 10 miles an hour over the posted speed limit. So, and that's by design because unfortunately some people try to use those as,
How fast can I go?
Yes. Yeah. As clocking devices to try and see how fast they're going or, maybe calibrate their speedometer. So it's designed not to do that so that people won't, get a speed that's up above that. They'll just get the message that says slow down. So anyways, again, we're trying to modify or get those things dialed in, but hopefully that will help remind drivers and assist them in,
It was a great reminder coming in because it goes from 55 down to 40 pretty quickly, even though there's the signs that tell you to coming into the rancho. So it was a good reminder, and I think I was at 45, and it finally went to 44. So I think it was set at like 5 miles over.
Yeah, it might be that.
Yeah, so I think it was a good thing, and I appreciate it. We've been at Coffee and Conversation talking about it for a couple years, and appreciate you getting those out there. Everyone's going to be pretty excited.
All right. You're welcome. Thank you.
I just had a couple announcements. This weekend, we've got two things going on up there. One in North Fork is the Norfolk Women's Club, the oldest club in the mountains from the 40s. Is having their annual chili cook-off, and I think some of our people are going to be judging. Are you doing it, Tyson? Oh, you're not? You are, Jay?
I am if you're requesting my presence.
Got a good taster there. And I think
I'm sure Amy might want to veto that.
Unfortunately, I'm on dog duty because Amy's going to the harvest days in Oakhurst that morning.
Yeah, that same Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is the Oakhurst Fall Festival, the 29th. And so there's everything there. They got rides for kids, they got music, they got everything. They got rides for grown-ups too, Ferris wheel and stuff. And the last thing I got is on October the 19th, the How group up in Oakhurst, helping one woman at a time, what HOW stands for. And this lady, Jackie Martin, she's got 4 kids, and the one just turned 11, and she got cancer really bad. He was cured, and then a couple of months ago, he started getting sick, and they took him into the hospital, and he has another tumor on his back now. They operated on, and they couldn't get it all out. But we're having a fundraiser. The family both had to quit their work to take care because he's spent so much time down here at the Children's Hospital. So one of them's always with him. The other one's with the other 3 kids. So we're having a fundraiser for it. If you got anybody got any kind of prizes they'd like to donate for the raffle, it would be really appreciated. My fiance Leslie Stevens and I and Trudy, got her name at all, sponsoring her. And we're going to try to raise as much money we can for them. Last week, 2 weeks ago, we had the last How dinner. This lady had lost, she has 3 kids, and they lost her husband, and we raised $8,700 that night. So either me or Bobby McCauley does the auctioneer of the bigger items. So if anybody want to help on that, I'd really appreciate it. So just get a hold of me. So
I've got just one due this weekend at Sorro Viejo, the Heart Walk. Yeah.
Thank you. I forgot about that. A lot of things going on up here, especially in the fall. So had a very successful grizzly run at Bass Lake last weekend, and sheriffs and fire and everybody else involved with that. So, okay, moving on. Any no more? Is there any online public comment? You consent calendar. Anybody got anything they want to pull, change, or discuss? Seeing none. Any public comment on the consent calendar?
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a second. Roll call, please.
Supervisor Gonzalez?
Yes.
Supervisor Frazier?
Yes.
Supervisor Rogers?
Yes.
Supervisor Portress?
Yes.
Chairman Wheeler?
Yes.
Vote passes 5-0.
Okay, we'll move to item number 6, discussion items.
Presentation of proclamation recognizing Monday, October 10th, 2022 as Indigenous Peoples' Day.
Letty, would you mind reading that for us?
Absolutely, thank you. So I just want to thank the staff, Carla Estepinian and Bobby McCauley, for placing this item on the agenda. I believe this is the second year in a row that we are recognizing Indigenous Peoples Day. And I think it's important to read the proclamation. So whereas the second Monday of October has been identified as Indigenous Peoples Day, and whereas in 1977, participants at the United Nations International Conference on Discrimination Against Indigenous Populations in the Americas proposed Indigenous Peoples Day. And whereas Indigenous Peoples Day recognizes Indigenous people for their contributions and commemorates their ancestral history and culture. And whereas this day acknowledges Indigenous people as the First Nations people in America, recognizing the detrimental treatment of Indigenous people faced for centuries and honoring the brave souls who fought for the land of the free. And whereas history demonstrates tribal governments' contributions in public service, arts, entrepreneurship, and more continue to be essential in our nation in the present and future generations. And whereas Madera County recognizes Indigenous people's strength and immeasurable positive impact they have made to American society. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Board of Supervisors of the County of Madera, State of California, does here recognize Monday, October 10th, 2022, as Indigenous Peoples Day in Madera County. We encourage community members to observe and honor Indigenous Peoples Day with appropriate ceremonies, activities, and educating our communities on our nation's diverse history. And it's signed by the members of the board.
Thank you so much. And they, just so everybody knows, I said it a while ago, but the Norfolk Mo tribe really took a hit on a lot of their homes in the Fork Fire. 20 total, and I'm not sure how many total were on the tribal land, but it was quite a bit. So special kind of a recognition, plus wishing them good luck on getting their places rebuilt. But Fred, would you come up so we can get back? Board members, you mind coming down?
Okay. Okay. Jeez. Okay, well, good morning, and I want to say thank you for having me. And I'm very honored to represent the citizens of North Fork Rancheria. Manahu Ibos, that's hello, friend. Nanani Adu, I'm Fred Bean. I'm the North Fork Rancheria Tribal Chairman. So our tribal council collectively put this letter together, and we wanted to, read it to the board. So the homelands of the Newmar people are located throughout the Central Valley region to the crest of the High Sierras. We've been here a long time, thousands of years, as documented in the archaeological and ethnographic record. In recent times, our people have seen change throughout these past 2 centuries. They are documented throughout elder knowledge and recorded through written documentation of ranchers, settlers, and others who have come into our homelands. Interaction between the Noom and new people, as we say, have been both positive and negative. We continue to protect our homelands, and our resilience remains as strong as ever. The Noom homelands have changed dramatically. Everyone can see how things are changing slowly and more extensively. We cannot be seen as clearly from the non-tribal perspective is the decline of our elders that results in the loss of language or traditional ways of living the Noom way. As each generation of Noom is born, it provides us with assurance that our Noom will carry on and continue to protect our homelands. We are a proud people. We continue to persevere. We continue to walk these lands as our ancestors have. We continue to educate others about our tribal perspectives. We continue to lead our people to proud to be proud of their heritage and to always care for the elders and youth. A declaration of Indigenous Day is important. It symbolizes the importance of the genocide that the Noom people have endured. It symbolizes the strength of the Noom. It provides an awareness of past atrocities, and it also strengthens a piece of the humanity that was lost during the establishment of the state of California. Madera County supervisors have taken a stand to recognize the indigenous people of the state of California. This is a positive recognition that should have been done a long time ago, and not only for the original inhabitants of these lands, but for all indigenous nations. We acknowledge and appreciate the recognition. And for our people, this is heartfelt. This is so deep. And so when we say it should have been done a long time ago, it's because really it should have never happened. So some say it's in the past, but what people have to realize today, it's not really in the past. Many of us have family members still living that have suffered unlawful acts. And so it's not in the past. It's still here today. When our relatives that are still alive, our grandparents that actually suffered these things, it's not in the past. But again, our people appreciate this recognition. We want to thank you.
Great speech by Fred. Appreciate it, and I think we all appreciated it. Go right. Grandparents and stuff, and almost all of them, the age, got shipped out of North Fork over to Nevada to go to school, took right away from their parents and everything. So I've been over there at that school where they went through the, I guess it's the log of all the ones they had over there, and it was shocking how many from North Fork that I knew. 6B.
6B, discussion and consideration to adopt a resolution granting the Director of Water and Natural Resources, Stephanie Nagnason, with a performance-based salary increase as listed on the agenda.
Thank you. Mr. J.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. You have before you a resolution, if passed by the board, will allow Stephanie to get a raise based on her ongoing outstanding evaluations that she has received and the fact that she has been opt out in her current STEP system. Staff is recommending this. It's also pending the compensation classification study that should be done in 2023, and I can answer any questions as best I can for you.
Any questions? Board. Oh, sorry. Mr. Poitras?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I was just curious, is the combat pay part of this, or is it in addition to this?
Yeah, I know.
Probably the hazard pay would probably have to be in addition to this.
That's for sure. Thank you, Farmer John. You're right.
One more.
Yes, Mr. Supervisor Rogers.
Yeah, I just want to mention that her salary is funded from the general fund. I think that's an important note. It's not funded by fees or GSA fees or anything like that. Thank you.
Good point. Any public comment? And then what's your pleasure, Borden?
Move to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Supervisor Frazier?
Yes.
Supervisor Gonzalez?
Yes.
Supervisor Rogers?
Yes.
Supervisor Poitras?
Yes.
Chairman Wheeler?
Yes.
Vote passes 5-0.
Just well deserved. 6C.
6C, 2023 Health Insurance Benchmark as listed on the agenda.
Morning.
Good
Susan?
morning, Chairman, members of the board. Susan Carter reporting for Human Resources. Currently, your memoranda of understanding have language in there which talks about that the employer contribution for health insurance is based on the lowest cost HMO health plan, excluding Kaiser. And for the 2023 plan year, the lowest cost HMO health plan is Anthem HMO Select. As in previous years, this health plan has very limited services, limited availability for service providers for the Madera and Fresno areas, which is primarily where your employees live. And your board authorized Human Resources to offer to utilize the next lowest cost HMO health plan as the benchmark for the county employees, which is United Healthcare.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion from the board members? Ready?
No.
Oh, okay. Any from the public comment? Any online? Okay. Roll call, please. I think what's next.
Supervisor Frazier?
Yes.
Supervisor Rogers?
Yes.
Supervisor Poitras?
Yes.
Supervisor Gonzalez?
Yes.
Chairman Wheeler?
Yes.
Vote passes 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. 6D.
Discussion and consideration to adopt a resolution adopting the County of Madera Measure T annual expenditures plan for fiscal year 2022 through 2023.
Move to approve.
Well, I think Jared,
Is there a presentation? Yeah. Anyway.
Good morning, Chairman, members of the board. Jared with Public Works.
Do you want to withdraw it or you want to give somebody a second?
That's all right.
Withdraw. We need a second. We shouldn't discuss into it. Second or withdraw.
second, and then he can give
Okay,
the.
very good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jared with Public Works. Item before you today is the annual adoption of the Measure T annual expenditure program for 2022-2023. As you're aware, the current Measure T was voted in 2006. And this is a requirement annually for us to adopt this expenditure plan, which will then go to our Transportation Commission for adoption into the overall work program for Measure T. I'm available for any questions.
Any questions? Supervisor Poitras.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You know, for whatever reason, there's been a lot of questions recently about Measure T. Is there any type of information, educational information that we could, as supervisors, share? Any kind of a link or whatever to talk about what Measure T is?
Point.
Yes, Supervisor Poitras. There is a website that is developed through MCTC. I believe it's called keepmaderamoving.org. And that has a significant amount of information regarding both current measure accomplishments as well as the renewal of Measure T that's scheduled for the ballot in November. I can share with you just, with respect to this particular item here, many of the projects you see in the list of projects here are all projects that are funded in part or significantly in part by other funding sources that have been leveraged by Measure T, which is one of the big values of having Measure T as a self-help county, having that in place to be able to go after these other funding. So as an example, one very large project that is just about wrapping up is our Avenue 26 rehab, which is about 16 miles of rehabilitation, which is at a price tag of about $25 million. But that is costing the county out of our pockets about $2.8 million because we're able to leverage that federal funding. So same goes for bridge projects. We leverage federal HBP money. On some of the other projects, we're leveraging SB1 money. So, rarely, I would say that in my experience here at the county, one of the biggest challenge I learned is how to make the funding work with the limited dollars we have and going after those other sources. And the more we have in our toolbox to be able to do that, gives us a much better opportunity to pursue those other programs and get more bang for our buck. I think I want to say it's somewhere in the range of 200 and something million dollars overall, I think, that we've leveraged to date with Measure T. So that's a huge amount of money that, again, we're grabbing and bringing back to our county, our region, to complete some of these projects. So, but again, yeah, there's a lot of information on that website. I know that the Transportation Commission has other things too. There's certain public meetings that are happening that folks have an opportunity to hear and learn more about it. So I would encourage everybody to take part in those and get the facts and information on what Measure T is about.
The real facts.
I'd trade 2.5 million for 25 million all day long, every day.
And so everybody knows we're having a town hall Zoom meeting at 6 o'clock next Monday evening. Just those words you said right there, Jared. I don't know if you got anything planned for that day. I know you'd have to volunteer your time to do that, but it'd be really nice to hear it from you that out here doing the actual work. So appreciate that.
Yep, not a problem. I've been part of a few already, and I'm happy to, participate in those meetings and share, what we've done and what the benefits are this measure brings to us.
Yeah,
For the last
I'd like
30
to
years.
say I'd like to trade my $25 that I pay a year for $25 million any day. That's good leverage. It's good ROI on just for me personally.
Yeah.
There you
Supervisor
go.
Boytress.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, I just kind of want to get this clear. So you said it's keepmaderamoving.org. And so if people have questions, they can go to this. And would it be good for maybe county supervisors to post that link to maybe a Facebook page so people can have that education?
It certainly helps to get the word out for sure to anybody and everybody so they can be informed and understand, again, the facts and the value of this measure and what it brings to the county.
Education.
Education for sure, yes.
Education. I'm going to start putting that out. I think that's a great idea, Rob. Need to have that out there.
Maybe not all supervisors, just the four of. Maybe you don't put it out. We don't need you to lightning rod it. Just
Well,
kidding. I'm
nobody
kidding.
else?
I'm kidding.
I wouldn't do nothing with a sword, man. Okay, we got a motion. Any public comment?
We have one online from
Okay.
Leadership Council. Go ahead.
Hi, good morning. This is Madeline Harris from Leadership Council. I reviewed the agenda packet with the Measure T expenditure plan for this year and noticed that another year is going by without any projects directly located in Lavinia or Fairmead. And I reviewed the agenda packet with a few community leaders in both communities that we partner with, and they were incredibly frustrated to see that despite the fact that they've participated in several public meetings at the Board of Supervisors and with the Measure T Renewal Steering Committee, making public comments about the need for street lighting, street repairs, sidewalks, bike lanes, and walking paths in their community and additional public transit in their community, that there aren't any projects that would directly invest in their communities. And so I'm hearing a lot of frustration from folks that there's a push to make Measure T a permanent tax unless ended by voters through a referendum, without a lot of communities in Madera County seeing their tax dollars invested in their communities. And the reason why I speak to Lavinia and Fairmead is because those are the two communities in unincorporated Madera County where we work. But this is true for more than just Fairmead and Lavinia, and I think there's a lot of widespread frustration about broken promises when it comes to Measure T. And so I just wanted to comment to urge the board not to approve this expenditure plan until there are some projects in communities that have never yet received direct Measure T investments from the duration of the measure since it began. And I think when it comes to Measure T renewal, this is exactly why we've been advocating for some sort of equity component or assurance in the renewed measure that would state that the county is going to make sure that all communities are invested in over the duration of the measure. because there's communities like Fairmead where folks are still waiting to see Measure T invested in their communities. So again, we urge you not to approve this expenditure plan until there are some changes to ensure that, communities that have never received Measure T investments are included. Thank you.
Any other online? None? We got a motion. Roll call, please.
Supervisor Rogers?
Yes.
Supervisor Frazier?
Yes.
Supervisor Poitras?
Yes.
Supervisor Gonzalez?
Yes.
Chairman Wheeler?
Yes.
Vote passes 5-0.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Jared? 6E.
6E, MD 10A, Madera Ranchos Dublin Storage Tank and Booster Pump Station, Madera County.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Jared with Public Works again. Item before you is a contract award to Steve Duvall Construction for the Dublin Storage Tank and Booster Pump project. As many of you are probably aware, we have been working feverishly and tirelessly over trying to improve that system out there, where there's several things that need to be addressed. I would like to just thank Supervisor Frazier for his involvement. We've had a lot of meetings with our state partners at Division of Financial Assistance who have been a tremendous help in the overall work that we're trying to complete out there in MD10A. So this contract is for a component of that system to install the storage tank at the Dublin well site, which was originally planned and anticipated when the Dublin well was drilled several years ago. So again, this project would complete that portion of the system upgrade, and I'm available for any questions.
Any questions? Supervisor Pro Tem Frazier.
Yes, thank you, Jared, and thank you to all our staff for staying on top of this and staying, plugged in weekly, bi-weekly through the pandemic. I do want to thank the State Division of Drinking Water and the Division of Financial Assistance, the residents of the ranchos for their patience. There's a lot of people out there, no tank, so there'll be times where there's no water pressure. Just ask Diana Gomez at Caltrans. She calls me and I call her about Caltrans stuff. But this is, we've been paying a lot in PG&E because the pump is constantly having to go all day long. Now we'll be able to do it in the off-peak times, fill that up, charge up the lines, have water pressure. This all started long time ago. The Valley Teen Ranch has been out of water for years and years and years, and they've just been, this is a teen home for troubled youth that, they go there to get a better situation, and they don't have water, and that's unconscionable. And and as well as Liberty High and RMS, their wells were contaminated. So this is all part of that connection, so that it serves the whole area. And I just really appreciate everybody that's put the time into this to make this better. I know we used to say this was our Cadillac system, and it was like a 72 Cadillac DeVille with like the curb scrapers on the side. But now it's, we're getting closer to like a 92 CTS. So hopefully by the end, we'll be up with that, with a Corvette engine and everything in it. So thank you.
With air conditioning.
Yeah. I'm so excited about this. The residents of the ranchos are so excited about this. And again, thank you to all the members of the community that come out and continue to keep their voice out there. So.
Yeah, Supervisor, thank you for those words. And I did want to say that when I say tirelessly and feverishly, I mean, Craig Wagner and Ray back here, Ray Gutierrez are, doing a lot of the heavy lifting on this project and the others with the Ranchos facility. Over time, as you mentioned, it started as a consolidation project, but over time it's grown into these other things, and we've tried to, make sure that we're looking at it more of a holistic approach of the overall system, including the future connections out there. We get, requests all the time, as you know. In fact, I think we just got one yesterday for connecting to the system, and it's really a challenge when we're not able to provide that service because of capacity issues and things like that. So, again, it's a big undertaking. It's probably the largest, most complicated water project that we've done here in the county to date, and it's continuing to morph, and being able to react and work with our folks at the state and adjust things to where we can do what's best for this system moving forward is something that takes a lot of time and effort to be on top of, along with still carrying all the other projects that we're doing, right? We have several other districts that are being worked on too with maybe not exactly similar things, but the water system improvement projects. So we got a small but mighty team, and we're just trudging forward and trying to keep things moving and keep things going. Yep.
Okay. Pleasure, board.
Move to approve.
Sec. Oh,
Go ahead. You got a second?
Yeah.
Okay. Roll call. Oh, public comment. Anything to say?
They only come out one.
Roll call.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Supervisor Frazier?
Yes.
Supervisor Rogers?
Yes.
Supervisor Poitras?
Yes.
Supervisor Gonzalez?
yes.
Chairman Wheeler?
Yes.
Vote passes 5-0.
6F.
MD 10A, Madera Ranches Water System Improvement Project, Phase A, as listed on the agenda.
It's almost $8.5 million that we've gathered to get these two projects.
And there's also the well that went in, and there's going to be a treatment facility that's coming up, right? But this is an important one.
I'd like to say a word if I can. I want to commend Supervisor Frater. He's just all over these type of situations from the very beginning. Just been working toward getting these things repaired. This is a huge thing for people. And
them out there.
if you've ever been without water any period of time, it's not fun. It is absolutely miserable. I went through a 10-day period where our well was down, we had no water, and it's just so gratifying to see a supervisor that gets it, and he worked so hard to make sure this happened. I just thought it was noteworthy. And by the way, looking back a little bit, he's no longer the representative for Lavina, but he left Lavina in great shape for me. A PCAI of 90%. They have street lights, all those things. Thank you for your hard work. Thank you.
Perfect. Okay, Jared.
Good morning, Jared with Public Works again. This item is for another contract award related to the MD-10A Rancho system. This is for phase 2. It is for the treatment that Supervisor Frazier mentioned. And so this will be for a treatment facility to be placed on the Berkshire well site, which, as Supervisor mentioned, has just been completed. In fact, I just got a text this morning that we actually have that online and pumping into the system this morning. So,
great.
So fingers crossed. Fingers crossed we don't blow out a whole bunch of pipes out there. But it is online and functioning right now. And so this contract would be with Smith Construction to do the installation of that treatment facility, which would be on the Berkshire site and capable of treating both the Berkshire well and the Kensington well, which we would be able to bring that well back online as part of this treatment system. So available for any questions.
Questions?
Again, thank you so much. Getting that back on and people knowing that they can take a shower and drink the water and not boil some of those on Kensington area that were being served at that when we didn't have enough source capacity. So great work. Really appreciate it all.
Any public comment? None?
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Supervisor Frazier?
Yes.
Supervisor Poitras?
Yes.
Supervisor Rogers?
Yes.
Supervisor Gonzalez?
Yes.
Chairman Wheeler?
Yes.
Vote passes
Absolutely.
5-0.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, team.
Thank you.
Long haul, I'll tell you. Bigger projects, like you said, as we've had on the books for a long time, so getting them finished. Okay, item number 7, pending legislation.
There is none, Chairman.
Okay. So go right to supervisors and staff reports. Mr. Dave?
Excuse me, sorry. Had a GSA meeting with Chowchilla GSA this last Wednesday, and I thought it was a very, very good meeting. It went a little long. We were a couple of hours, and then we had a couple hours meeting afterwards. Stephanie and David's Engineering, along with a local farmer, Roger Shu, on Irrawatch, and it was quite revealing, quite informative what was happening with that. So that was a good meeting. Thank you.
Again, the Heart Walk, and then also, and I forgot to mention, there's an October 12th town hall at the Ranchos Library at 6 p.m. for Measure T education.
Good. Sunday afternoon at 4, actually, got a new business and wildlife rescue area. They call it the Nature of Wild Works. Molly, who owns this, had a Bob the Black Tie fundraiser, bobcat that somebody had caught and had it declawed, so they can't turn it out in the wild. But I got some pictures. He's this big. You got to see it. It's like a kitty cat. I mean, but he wanted to drink water, and the one girl was leading around all the people, and he went up to the sink and put his paws up on the sink like, I'm thirsty. Great. It was a great event, and Molly, she's tried to get this program in some county. She's looked all over kind of the state, and she said working with Madera County people and our staff, best she has at any county she's worked with. So that was a great compliment when telling all the people that day. So thank you, Molly, for bringing that to Corsco. Betty.
Thank you. A couple of announcements. Tomorrow with Supervisor Poitras's office, we will be having a virtual town hall meeting on Measure T as well. So you're welcome to join us. We'll share that information on our social media, and we'll shoot that out on our newsletter. Also, last week I attended the San Joaquin Supervisors Conference. I was able to attend for a day. I want to thank Jay for representing Madera County very well. He talked about teleworking amongst many other issues. We talked a lot about water and energy. It was a great meeting overall. I did have to leave early, so I didn't catch the tail end of the meeting. And then yesterday, I was sponsored to go by the WELL, which is Water Education for Latino Leaders, to meet with Senator Maria Elena Durazo. She is a senator from the LA area, born in Madera, and but represents that area and is very interested in learning about the issues happening here in the Central Valley. So I told them that not only was I representing my district and my county, but I was representing the almost 7 million people in the Central Valley to talk about water and educated them about storage, land repurposing, just the lack of infrastructure. And so really made an effort to help them understand. And I think they were very receptive. I also took, with the help of Carla, some fruit from the Central Valley, which they all enjoyed. And so, yeah, overall, it was great. Got home late last night to be here this morning. And then the last thing is October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so I will be promoting that to get checked. Very important. And I know some of the law enforcement agencies are doing the Pink Patch Project, so please look out for that and participate in that. So that's my report. Thank you.
Great. Farmer John, Supervisor Poitras.
There you go. Thank you. I just wanted to make mention of a fundraising event this Thursday night. It is not for a candidate for office, but it is for an organization that's, for some people, it's the last backstop, and that's the Madera Rescue Mission. It's going to be at Hatfield Hall. And so I would just encourage anybody who is going to go and participate, as well as if you haven't signed up or bought a ticket, I would encourage you to attend. It's organization that depends on contributions, not from the state or federal government. There's probably a few programs that they receive, but their core mission is an important one. So I just wanted to mention that this Thursday night, Hatfield Hall, 6 o'clock. Thank you.
You send me a thing so I can donate to that.
I'll do that.
Mr. J.
What was the email, or what was that address for Measure T again?
Thank you for asking. It is keepmaderamoving.org.
Very good. keepmaderamoving.org.
.org. It all together.
All one word, yeah. I wrote it down too. Yay.
Thank you, Chairman. Did attend the San Joaquin Valley Regional Association of California Counties. It's a very long acronym, but it's 9 counties who get together. Kings County did a great job of hosting. I guess you can pat yourself on the back because you'll be hosting next year. So that date, we have selected that. We are going to meet at the Pines September 27th through September 29th. That's the week after RCRC. And it's not late enough that it interferes with the California County executives. And I've also been told that CSAC will be moving back more towards its regular week next year. So they'll be end of November, beginning of December, like what we're used to. So that should work out well. There were very few dates available because the Pines is very busy with weddings. And apparently for weddings, folks get there around Wednesday or Thursday. Maybe Supervisor Gonzalez knows more about that right now than I do.
Lining them up.
But we've already started to put a program together that we think will be useful for the supervisors.
Everybody knows, we heard that he was on a panel and that Jay done a great job representing us. Thank you, Jay.
You're welcome. And then on the item with Stephanie's position, so just as a clarification, Stephanie's position and those positions remain in the general fund. They are funded through grants and through administrative fees, not the fees that you passed in June, as I understand the budget. That's the end of my report. Thank you.
Gina.
Yes, thank you, Chair, members of the board. My only report is that your legal counsel, who was in an ex parte hearing this morning, is here if you want to go back into closed session and take up the discussion related to Highway 41 and the existing litigation. Thank you.
We will do that.
Chairman, I have one other question for you. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut off Karen. Since the board meeting ended fairly rapidly and since closed session probably won't go on too long, do you wish to do agenda review before lunch or do you want to keep the 2:30 time?
We could do it 5 minutes after our.
Okay, thank you.
Is that okay?
That's great with me. I just want to make sure everybody else is good with it.
Any reports?
Nothing to report.
Thank you so much. Now we're going to go into closed session and finish that. Be right back out, folks. Any items from closed session to report? None? Not working. Oh.
Go ahead.
Chair, there are no reportable action from your closed session.
Thank you. Then
Thank
we're going to
you.
adjourn this meeting. Thank everybody, and we'll go see you next Tuesday.
Sorry, Matt. Give us just 2 minutes, but go on in. Okay, 5 words.